Andrew Bailey, who is my guest today on the show, is based out in Kansas City, United States of America. He's a passionate cyclist and has traveled extensively through Europe and United States of America, and in the process has mastered multiple languages such as Russian and German. In his professional career, he's donned a number of hats, from working in farms as a rancher to working as an archaeologist to working as an environmental lawyer. He's done it all. Currently, for long distance cycling, he's using a very different cycle, that is the recumbent trike. So let's go find out more about his cycling journey and his bike. Hi, Andrew. Welcome to Road Benders. Thank you so much for taking out the time to have this chat with us. From what you've told me, you're based in Kansas City in United States of America, and you've had an extremely interesting professional journey. You've worked in different professions, which are poles apart. That is, you've been working in a farm as a rancher, you have worked as an archaeologist, also worked as an environmental lawyer. So in all of these varied professions, one thing that has remained constant is your passion for cycling. So
Yes.
I would like to ask you how and when did this passion for cycling begin?
Boy, it began so long ago, I don't remember, but I do know that I was riding a little tricycle before I was ever in school. With my sisters, we rode all around our neighborhood. It was freedom and adventure. And then eventually graduated to different styles of bikes. I had bikes, I rode to school. We rode out into the country. For me and my friends, having a bike, it was freedom. So I've been riding for a long time.
Right. So you've summed it up perfectly, when you say that riding is freedom, because it's freedom from queues of traffic, it's freedom from gas stations, it's freedom to cycle to any place that you like at zero cost. So yeah, I completely agree with you. Riding can be summed up as freedom. Okay, so can you tell me how has cycling changed the way you look at life?
Well, it's really changed the way I think about transportation. I'm not so much goal-oriented when I'm thinking about cycling. I'm more in the moment. That's how it's changed me a lot. One thing I like about cycling so much for me, and this is my perspective, is that I would see things and have goals of where I wanted to go. But I would just start that way. But it was the process of riding for me. It was a process of smelling the smells on the side of the road and feeling the wind on me and looking at the sights. And it goes by at just the right speed where you're part of the world around you and you're not surrounded from it. And so I would pick goals and ride toward them. And they were really pretty arbitrary sometimes. It's about I'm somewhere and maybe I just want to ride somewhere else. And so I would hit up and down the coasts. I loved riding next to the ocean. And I loved riding through farm fields and crops. And my goals are pretty arbitrary when it comes to riding.
Okay. So can you tell me the high point of your cycling journey?
Well, I've actually had two really high points. One of them was when I was working as an archaeologist out in the western United States. I could take my bike and I could use it to ride many trails and roads way up into the backcountry where I had to work. And I could use the bike for riding, and I carry all the things I needed with it, to ride to a job and camp out. That was great. That was one of the very big highlights highlights I've had in my cycling is when I met my wife, and her parents were also avid cyclists, and we went on trips together. We rode along the Oregon coast together. We rode along the California coast in Northern California through the wine country. That was a wonderful trip. We've taken a trip across Kansas, and in a little trailer behind the bike, I pulled my daughter when she was quite young. And those are highlights for me, the trips I would take either with work or with family.
Right. I can imagine it must be quite a treat when the whole family cycles together.
Yes, it's a wonderful experience. We did that for many years together.
Right. So, where are you currently cycling and why have you chosen this destination?
Well, currently and recently, we've been raising two daughters here in Kansas City. And so I have stayed mostly around home. But that means I've got the entire metro area and the surrounding countryside to ride in. And I do mostly that and have been. But now they're both away at college, so I think I can broaden my horizons and maybe head out west.
Absolutely. Now you're going to have more time to utilize for sure. So,
Yes.
when you do go out of Kansas City to cycle, generally it is for how many days, and are you completely self-sufficient during that time? Like, do you have all of your belongings, requirements for stay outside?
Yeah, currently, right now, as I mentioned earlier, that I have a trike. I ride a recumbent trike, and I can carry pretty much everything I need on it. And I have my small camping gear, and if I need to attach a trailer, I have several different trailers. But normally, I can get everything on the trike and
Right.
be pretty self-sufficient.
Right.